You, my friend, are not meant to blend in. You are meant to lead. But every crown leads differently. And the truth is, there's more than one kind of powerful. And so today, you're about to discover what type of crown you carry. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Crowned for the One Building an Empire and Trusting God at the Same Time. I am Elena Rodriguez. I am your show host, and I'm also the president and founder of Prospera TV Network. So thank you for tuning in. So today we are going to talk about what type of crowned leader are you? Why is this so important? Well, because none of us are the same. And many of us are walking around trying to do what someone else has done. Have you ever heard that? Find someone that has what you want and do what they do. So have you ever considered maybe what they're doing doesn't work for you? And maybe you are doing and trying and going again, and you're just not getting the result that you're looking for. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that task doesn't even work. It just might not be your leadership style. So as we go through these 4 crowned archetypes, one is not better than the other. One is not more powerful than the other. One doesn't have a better chance at success than the other. They're all unique in simply the way you lead. And this is so important because this will help guide the steps to help you gain that traction so much faster and with so much more ease and with much more confidence. But before we move on, please take a few minutes to go take the quiz. What type of crowned leader are you? If you go to thecrownedera.com, right on that front page, you will find the link that says take quiz now. Take the quiz and find out what type of crowned leader are you. Then come back, drop it in the chat if you are watching this on YouTube, and let's talk about it. Let's get to know a little bit more about each other so that we can help you build your dream. So please keep in mind that every single one of these crowned leader archetypes, every single one is sacred. Every single one is important. Every single one has its space and its place in this world. So there are 4 crowned leader styles. You have part of all of them. We're a little bit of everything, but you do have a primary. You have a dominant. You have a primary and you have a secondary. But for the most part, you will resonate with a lot of pieces in each of these. But it's a matter of what do you resonate with most. So the first one that we are going to talk about is the Phoenix crown. That is the resilient riser. Your power is in your rise. You've walked through fire and emerged stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. You are here to lead through testimony. You're here to ignite hope and show others what it means to rebuild with grace and grit. Your spiritual strengths, resilience, empathy, mentorship, authenticity, but you need to watch out for burnout, overgiving, and staying in that survivor mindset. When you've had to be in that defense mode for all of your life, that's a masculine energy. So for us ladies, if you are in that survivor mindset, you are in your masculine energy more than the feminine. And that can give you that, I can do it. I got this. We don't have to have that defense up all the time. And for you men, that could mean, I don't need to ask for help. I will figure it out. you would actually like bury yourself before you would let anyone know and be vulnerable to asking for help. So, as a Phoenix crown, you rise so others remember they can too. You've faced the fire and emerged as a force. Your presence is real, raw, and rooted in truth. When you speak, it's not just inspiration, it is truly transformation. The words that come out of your mouth are so heartfelt that when people receive them, they actually feel the change happening within them because it's so purposeful, it's so real, it's so true, and they feel that. You give people that sense of connection. Your visibility style. Now, I am here, president of Prospera TV Network. I also have a book series called Surrender to Rise that we allow people to write chapters in books. And I also have events. So I provide the stage for speakers to come and speak. So I cater to many different avenues of visibility. I know that you need to be seen in your calling. I know that you need to be heard, and that goes for every crown type. So when we talk about visibility style, I want you to think in those terms of book, event, show, and see where you fall based on your crown type. So visibility style for the Phoenix crown is transformational storytelling, purpose-driven platforms. You don't want to just show up anywhere. You need to know that where you are placing yourself, where you are positioning yourself has purpose, and soul-centered content that moves hearts. These things are very important to you. You don't want the chitty chat, you don't want the noise, you don't want the ego driven content that just says, hey, look at me, and it's all surface level. You want to dig in there. A signature affirmation for you: I am living proof that healing is powerful. I rise, rebuild, and lead with heart. Now, some of your strengths: unshakable determination. Trust me, you've walked through the fire and you're coming out rising. Not much rattles you nowadays. You bounce back even stronger after setbacks. You do have deep empathy and emotional intelligence from your own lived experiences. You are a natural mentor, a motivator for others going through hard seasons, and you inspire with authenticity and raw storytelling. Now, some weaknesses for you, because we have to look at those. Not all of us are perfect. Believe it or not, some of us do have weaknesses. You may struggle with trusting again or delegating after past disappointments. So what that means is, especially in business, you might have trouble passing tasks off to someone because somewhere down the line you've been let down, or things weren't done correctly and you took the heat for it. So that's a weakness that you might still carry, that you might struggle with trusting again, or you might not really delegate a whole lot. So by not delegating and thinking, I can do it because I'm not going to be hurt, I'm not going to be let down, you may actually go into like a burnout phase. You can stay in your survivor mode, overworking without rest or reflection. Now, the reason that happens is because you got to get it done and you're in that masculine energy, you're in that survivor mode that if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it because of where you've been, because of your experiences, because maybe you've been let down. You're like, I got this and I'm going to just keep going. That's a weakness because you're actually blocking the progress that you could have, that next level of success that you could have, because you're not willing to let some of those things go. You often undercharge or undervalue because you're just grateful to just like still be here. So when it comes to your work and your content and the value and your price points, all of those things, you might undercharge because you might not necessarily see your worth in a dollar sign. There's a resistance in scaling. Afraid growth means more pain or loss. So at one time, something let you down And there's still an underlying fear that if you get too big, if you get too successful, if things start going too well, somebody's going to pull that rug out from under you and something's going to happen. So that's actually a weakness of yours, because it may prevent you from taking that next step. It may prevent you from saying yes to that next opportunity that might seem scary, because at one time you were at the lowest of the lowest, and you have fought really, really hard to get back to where you are today, and you don't want to put it in anyone's hands. You don't want to delegate and give anyone that power to possibly put you in that position again. But because you're kind of stuck in this protector mode, this survival mode, you're actually blocking the next step to your progress. So keep those things in mind. So that is the Phoenix crown. Let's move into the Spotlight crown.
Thank you for watching Prospera TV Network. We hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Let's move into the Spotlight crown. Your voice is your power. Spotlight crown is the magnetic messenger, the visible messenger, and the spotlight says it all. So your voice is your power. You were born to be seen and heard. When you step into visibility, you not only inspire others, you give them permission to shine. So it's almost like you're saying, come along, join on this, see me, let's all go be heard. Like you're kind of navigating everyone. And if they're in your presence, not only are you being seen and heard, you're allowing them to be seen as well. Your spiritual strengths are the charisma, that it factor, that boldness. It's your presence. You have a magnetic energy, but you need to watch out for validation, seeking that validation that you're doing a good job. You need to watch out for that, because not everybody's going to clap for you. You need to watch out for that performance pressure, that pressure that you put on yourself, a level of perfection that only you can see, that no one is really even expecting from you, but you have it. We need to watch out for that. And avoiding depth. Now, what that means here, avoiding depth, is that sometimes if things get too deep, you want to bypass it. You want to just kind of like say, hey, look at me, keep things on the surface and not go too deep, because sometimes whatever's under there, you just want to focus on being in the spotlight. You've already paid your dues, and you're like, I'm just here to shine, and like, let's tell some jokes and let's go do our thing, and everybody come with, and that will be great. So you kind of avoid depth in certain situations. You were made to be seen, heard, and unforgettable. And most times when you come into people's presence, they won't forget you. Even if they met you just one time, there's something about you that they will never forget. Your power, you shine from the inside out. Your charisma activates others, and your presence is electric. People feel it around you. You're meant for the mic. You're meant for the camera. You are meant for the crowd, and your leadership is magnetic. Your visibility style, on stage, on camera, on fire, your bold personal brand presence. You have a bold personal brand presence. So what does that mean? You are your brand, and you're good with it. You just need to introduce yourself, and that is enough. You are community building through authenticity. People want to be part of what you have. People see you, they like what they see, they like what they feel, and you've built a community around that. And if you haven't yet, then that's a task for you, because you're real, because you shine, because you make others feel 10 feet taller. in your presence, because you put smiles on people's face, but it's your authentic self. And people just want to be a part of that. Your signature affirmation: I own my light. I lead with boldness. I was born for this moment. Your strengths: you're charismatic, you're confident, and you're powerful on camera, on stage, and even on your social media presence. You have a presence about you. That magnetic presence inspires others to listen and follow. You're quick to build brand visibility and influence. You're passionate about helping others be seen and celebrated. Now, some of your weaknesses: yes, we have those too. You can lean too heavily on external validation or performance pressure. So we talked about that earlier. Watch out for that performance pressure. That's that level of perfection that you're placing on yourself, or maybe even on others. If they're a part of something that you're doing, that you might be putting that performance pressure on everyone, and it gets a little bit like, that's a weakness. You may avoid deep back end systems or back end leadership. So what that means is kind of like the follow through. You want to keep going, you want to be seen, you want it to be good, you want that charisma, you have that it factor, you're in the spotlight, and then it's kind of like that follow up. Well, that's boring because I'm already moving on to the next thing. So that's a weakness. Okay? If you don't want to do those things, find somebody to do them for you. You're prone to burnout if constantly on without inner restoration. So you got to learn how to replug and recharge, or unplug and recharge. You've got to learn how to calm it down, restore yourself, refuel those energies, because when you go out there, you really give it. But if you're doing that all the time, and you're not taking that time for that inner restoration, it's that light is gonna like get a little dim. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like a dimmer switch. When a light is like ready to burn out, it kind of goes down, 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 kind of like a candle too. It's going to burn out. So restore. That inner restoration should become a priority for you. And you avoid vulnerability if you feel like it's going to dim your shine. You would rather not go there. You would rather not let people see that side of you. You would rather not spend time on being vulnerable if you can keep the show going. So that is the Spotlight Crown. So how many of you watching are a Spotlight Crown? Please let me know. Let's move right along. We are into our Visionary Crown. With the Visionary Crown, you are the strategic seer, the future focused builder. So for the Visionary, your future fuels your fire. Looking ahead, big picture, that's what keeps you going. You see what others miss, you build what others need, and you are here to challenge the norm. You're here to plant new seeds and pave paths that haven't been walked yet. You're not afraid to get out the shovel and just create a new way. You're not afraid to roll up the sleeves and just like get it going. You don't even care if you see where the whole path goes. You trust yourself and you simply begin. Your spiritual strengths: innovation, strategy, movement, building leadership. Meaning you don't just talk about it. You might talk about it for a minute, but then it's in motion. That's how you lead. You actually take action. You see the big picture and you pick up the pieces to start building it, regardless whether you know you have the whole blueprint drawn out or not. That's not important to you, because you know that the way to build is to actually get moving and get started. What you need to watch out for is overwhelm, isolation, and sometimes over planning. Now, over planning doesn't mean that you've planned from start to finish. It means that you plan start for this whole big picture. Sometimes you do need to scale it back and simply complete that first thing, that starter step. So because you're a visionary, you're constantly seeing another big picture, another big picture, another big picture. You lead with clarity and you create with purpose. You're not just out there doing these things just because. You're doing these things because they mean something, because you've been given the gift of the vision. So you do lead with that clarity that you know it's meant for something. You might not see the whole picture, but you see the big picture and you know it's meant for something, and there's purpose behind it. Your power is you are the big picture thinker, the builder, the one who sees what others can't. You were born to design, impact, and lead movements, not little tiny moments. You know that life is full of moments, but you're not here for just the moments. You're here to create movement. Your visibility style, thought leadership and strategy, vision aligned platforms, future focused content that actually shifts culture. And your signature affirmation, I see beyond what is and lead with what could be. I create legacy through vision. Now, your strengths. The strengths are that you are a big picture thinker and you have strong strategic vision. So that is a strength to see the big picture, but have strong strategic vision behind it. You're bold, innovative, and afraid to challenge the norms. You inspire movements, you will disrupt industries, and you will pioneer new paths. You naturally attract collaborators and long term partners. Now, some of your weaknesses. You may get stuck in planning or future dreaming without follow through. You're often frustrated when others don't move as fast or see as far as you. And you're prone to starting too many things without finishing them, and you can feel isolated or too much in rooms with smaller thinking. So there are times where you may even hold yourself back if you're in a room with people that you don't feel are like big thinkers like you. You might even feel out of place at times or like you really shouldn't even be there. So those are some like weaknesses. You do belong. I guess the more deeper question is, but do you want to be there? Do you feel it's a good use of your time? As we move into our last one, the Serenity Crown. This is the grounded guide, the peaceful guide. Your calm is your crown. You are a stabilizing force in a chaotic world. People trust you. They're drawn to your wisdom, they're drawn to your gentleness, and the peace you bring to every room and conversation. Your spiritual strengths are grace, loyalty, and discernment. But you need to watch out for hiding, over accommodating, and shrinking your power. You lead through presence, peace, and purpose. So your true power is you don't shout to be heard. Your energy actually speaks volumes. You hold space with grace. You bring calm, wisdom, and healing into a world that craves depth. Your visibility style, intuitive leadership, the just knowing, that soulful, safe space branding. You create branding that gives people the sense of security and peace and calm. You have restorative content that creates connection. That's a visibility style for you. Restorative content that creates connection. Your signature affirmation, I lead with quiet power and grounded peace. My presence is my platform. So your strengths, calm, consistent, and grounding presence for teams and clients. So if you're a team leader, this is what you bring to the team. For your client, this is what you bring to your client. That calm, consistent, grounding presence. You're an excellent listener, a mediator, and behind the scenes, strategist. You attract trust and loyalty with grace and stability. You value integrity, aligned action, and soul first leadership. Your weaknesses, you may delay decisions to resist conflict and keep the peace. So you might put off having to make decisions, and it just kind of gets heavier and heavier and heavier the more you put it off. Or you might want to hide to not have to make the decision because you want to resist conflict and keep the peace. You tend to downplay your own power and avoid the spotlight entirely. You can struggle with visibility or even promotion due to your sense of humility and modesty. So if you got somebody out here wanting to make this whole big to do and all of this stuff, it might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. And now the reason that's a weakness is because you're not actually stepping into your authority. You're not stepping into a place to be seen because you want to kind of just stay back here and you're good with it. It's okay that that's where you are. But in order to get to that next level, somebody's got to see you. You've got to be willing to take the mic and say it. You may attract chaotic clients and feel drained or misaligned. So because you're that pillar of calm, because you're that pillar of consistency, you might attract these people that are like all over the place because they feel that sense of grounding with you. But then what that does for you is it kind of gets you misaligned or leaving you feeling drained and depleted of your own energy. So these are our 4 crowned archetypes. So if you have not taken the quiz, please go do that, crownederaacademy.com, and take the quiz. Let us know where you fall. And if you have any questions, please let us know that. Why is this so important to have this knowledge? We all need each other. So some strengths are weaknesses in others, and some weaknesses are strengths in others. And when we can identify what those are amongst each other, especially in the community at Show Your Crown, the Crowned Collective, we can help each other. So to me, it is imperative that you understand what your spiritual gifts are, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are, because they're all working for you at all times. So they're either working for you or they're working against you, and they're either helping you get your progress or they're holding you back. I want you to identify the crown archetype that resonates with you most. I want you to take the quiz and see if those align. If they come back differently, let's have a discussion about it. Sometimes, I'm going to be very honest with you, sometimes if we've been raised to be a certain way, our true spiritual gifts haven't been allowed to come forward. So sometimes you might even find conflict in that, well, this is what my quiz says, but this is how I really feel. Chances are, growing up, you could have been taught to be different. You could have been told to not be that way. And so you learned a different way of being, but it's not what resonates within you. So I would love to hear that. But anyway, the work is pick your crown archetype, and I want you to write down how it shows up in your business, how it's shown up in your decisions, how it's shown up in your own level of confidence. And then I want you to ask yourself, how can I honor this part of me more fully? But the one thing that I want to leave you with is your crown already fits. Your crown is already yours. Your crown is already uniquely designed and sized just for you. I will leave you with this. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. And boldly step forward. Show your crown. See you next week.
This is your Prospera era, where dreams align with grace, abundance flows like rivers. You've stepped into your place. Rise, reign, and remember, you were born to shine. Welcome to your moment, Prospera, it's time.
We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.